Assalamu alaikum, my students. Today we are going to see the information security part 2. Last class we have seen about number 1, about what is authentication, what are the three elements that are needed to say that the system is secure, which is confidentiality, integrity and availability. Also we have seen about how we can ensure authentication. There are three commonly used methods. Number 1, what they know, passwords, what they have, smart cards, what they are, using biometrics. So this is what we have seen in the last class. So today we are going to discuss further on the same topic. Today we are going to discuss on the three items that I am going to explain you. Number 1, multi-factor authentication. Number 2, access control. And number 3, encryption. So these are the three ideas which I am going to discuss with you in this lecture today. Okay, let us try to see one by one what is that one. Number 1, the first one is called multi-factor authentication. See, what is multi-factor authentication? Multi-factor authentication means it is nothing but, like for example, combining more than two or more factors. You already know that there are many factors by which we can authenticate, like using biometric, using password, anything like this. If you are going to combine more than one, that is 2 or more than one factor, then it is actually listed above, means that is you may use biometric finger scanning and you can use password, a combination. You can use biometric and you can use smart card. Any combination it can be. But if you are going to have more than one way, one step to authenticate the user, then it is called multi-factor authentication. So having more than one step to authenticate the user is called multi-factor authentication. One of the commonly used thing is called secure ID token. I will explain you this idea. If you are going to have some online banking in some banks, they give you a small device, and you know what that device will do? It generates new numbers every 60 seconds. Every 60 seconds the new number is generated. Random number means randomly the new number is generated. So whenever you are going to get access to use the particular system, you enter your username and password, then it will ask you, please press the button in the device, you will get a number. That number which you see in the device will be automatically sent to the system. So you have to enter that number in the text box which is provided in the user interface. When you enter that number, there is authentication between the number which you entered and the number which is generated by the device, RSA secure ID device. So if there is a match, then the system will give you access to access the account or transfer the account money, anything like this. So this is actually called multi-factor authentication. I will also give you one way, one example is what? See, the only way to authenticate is by knowing the code and having RSA device. So if you don't have the code, you cannot get in. And the RSA device linked with your account, not any RSA device. See, not any RSA device. When you press this, when you switch on the RSA device, the number is actually changing every 60 seconds. So this number change is also reflected into the system which you do not see, like a username. But this is only valid for 60 seconds. After 60 seconds, it automatically changes to another number. So even if you leave the device, somebody knows your number, see your number, but after 1 minute they cannot use that number because the device will generate another number after 1 minute, and that 1 minute after the number you press, the number which is generated was automatically stored in the information system as a authentication password, temporary password. Now when you enter that number, it authenticates. Addition to your username and password, there is one more step which is taken as an extra precaution to protect the information security in the information system. So this is called what? This is actually called multi-factor authentication. I would like to give you one more example also. You see that whenever you are going to make one time payment, you are going to pay payment for online, like Omantel. You can try. If you go to Onek website, there is something called quick pay. They will ask you, okay, enter your card number, enter your account number. So they will show how much is the money that you have to pay. After you get all these things, what they will do, they will actually put, they will say enter the OTP. That OTP will come automatically to your mobile phone number, which is actually with the bank. So because when you enter the credit card number or the debit card number, the bank is going to release the money from the account. So when you are entering the number, automatically the message goes to the bank that he wants to make a transaction. So when you want to make the transaction, normally in the olden days it was very easy. You swipe the card, the transaction is over, or you enter the card number and the CVC number in the back, you will do the transaction. But now you enter the card number, you enter the CVC number which is in the back 3-digit number. That is not enough. Additionally, they will send one password which is called one-time password. The one-time password, OTP, it is only valid for 2 minutes or maximum 3 minutes. So that password comes to your mobile phone which is registered in the bank for this particular account. Okay, so now what happens, when the password comes, you enter that number also, then only the process can finish and you can do your transaction. Now what is the advantage of this one? Imagine somebody has actually lost the card. Somebody found the card. They try to do some transaction in the card. They cannot do the transaction. Why? Because if they want to do any transaction, they know the card number, they know the CVC number, but they don't get the password which is with the mobile phone of the person who has been registered with this account. If the phone is not with them, then it is not possible. So this is why it's a double step authentication process to ensure the security of the data. Now let's go to the next one. The next thing is called access control. Let me give the meaning of the word access. Access means giving you permission. Like for example, I give you access to my computer. It's a common phrase used in English language. What do you mean by access? I give you permission to use my computer. Giving access means giving permission to use computer. That's called access. So access means giving you permission. Okay, for example, sometimes you go to your friend's house. When you go to your friend's house, you sit in the majlis. So you have only access to majlis, but you do not have access to the other places in the house like a bedroom or kitchen. Other places you don't have access. You have access only to the main place where all the people sit, which is called majlis. So that's the same idea with the information system. A lot of information is available in the information system. Not everyone have access to all the information in the information system. You can only see the information which is related to you, which is used by you in the organization for your job. So for example, if you are working in a human resource department, you may want to know the information about the salary details, the deductions that has to be made, the annual leave, all this type of things you will be knowing. But you will not bother about the student grades, what is their mark. This is not the concern of the human resource department. Whereas a teacher does not know all the details about the salary of all the faculty members and the people working in the university. They only know about the students. They know their salary, but they cannot know the other people's salary because this information is not required for them. So what is access control? Access control is a mechanism by which the information is not easily shared equally among everybody. You will not know everything. Some information will be known to you, some information will not be known to you. So some information which will be known to you is only known because this is needed for your job. Your job requirement needs you to know this information. So it is basically depending upon the role in the organization. You know what is the role? The nature of the job that you do. Depending upon the nature of the job that you do, the data access will be different for some of them. Like for example, also you have to note, not only seeing the data, also the permission to do the things with the data or the information. Some people can read only you can see the information, but you cannot write any information into the data, into the system, or you cannot write any new thing into the information. I will give you an example. I am having two roles in the university. Okay, number one, I am a teacher, and number two, I am an advisee. So my role as an advisee is different, and my role as a teacher is different. As an advisee, when the students come to me, what I will do? I will tell them what is the GPA, what is the CGPA, what is the CMGPA, how many courses they have to complete. I can tell only this type of information, but I cannot make any change to the information which I see. That means I can only read the data. If for example, if the student is telling, teacher, my model is low, my mark is low, can you help me? I cannot change, because I can only, I have the rights only to do what? Read only. Is that clear? But when I am an instructor, I am actually writing the information in the information system, because when I am teaching, I am giving you exam. I know your mark. When I know your mark, I enter your mark in the system. So I can do it only when the semester is on. After the semester is over, I don't have permission to write anything into the system. I can also only read. You understand? So reading means I can only see the information. Writing means I can put some information which is there. Also, there are some people who are in higher level of jobs, because the role of the job is different. So what they do? They can delete, they can add a new information if they want. These type of things also they can do. So what is access control? Access control determines which are the users who can read, modify, add or delete information. Okay, so you have to understand, don't think that somebody is special in the organization, somebody is low in the organization. Depending upon the role of the job and the nature of the job, different people have different rights to access the data. Okay, because everybody has a job, everybody is doing a job in any organization, but the role of the job in the organization is different. But everybody is doing the job. That's a real fact about the whole thing in any organization. Even a cleaner is doing a job. Even a person who is a teacher is also doing his job. But the role of the job is different. So the cleaner does not need to know the information about what is the mark of the student. So maybe he doesn't know the data about all these things. Okay. But whereas the teacher knows only the information that is needed for him. What is that? His students and his marks. That's it. I cannot check what is happening in other sections. I cannot check other teachers' grades. That's not my view of data. It's not my concern. So the data is actually accessible only according to your nature and the role of the job, and moreover according to the nature. If your job needs, if the nature of the job needs you to write some new information, then you can write. I think this is about access control. I think it is clear. Now when I show this with the help of a picture, it will become more clear for you. See, look at this one. This is called access control list. There are 5 users in this table. Can you see now? Smith, Riley, Kengan, M. Roberts, M. Anderson. There are 4 operations that is possible in any information system. People can read. Read means they can only look. People can write. That means people can write means what? They can add some information. People can add. Add new information means they can, not writing means there is information in which you can write. Adding means adding a new information. Deleting an information. So there are 4 operations. In this one, if you look at J. Smith, Rayleigh, Kennegan, M. Roberts, M. Anderson, all the 5 have got rights to read. Whereas if you look at Kennegan, Roberts and Anderson, they have rights to write the information in the system. To add a new information, only Kennegan has got the rights, and to delete also Kennegan has got the rights. That means Kennegan has all the 4. Number 1, he can read, he can write, he can add, and he can delete. Whereas these two people can only have rights to read only. Whereas these two people have two things, they can read and they can also write. Now let's go here. Look at this one. Now this is a table which is already available. Now based on the role, I told you your rights depends on your role. I don't see who is Kenagan. I'm not bothered. I don't know who is Smith. If there are 3 people working in my company, I don't worry. Ahmed, I like him very much. Abdullah, I don't like him. Okay, Muhammad, I like him. I will give him this right. No, not like that. The rights that is given to access the data only depends on what? The role of the job. Like for example, look at this one. You are a reader. Okay, reader. If you are a reader, your job is reader. If your job is editor, and if your job is administrator, then a reader has only the rights to read. A editor has rights to read and write. An administrator has rights to read, write, add and delete. An administrator, if my job is administrator, I will have rights for 4 things. What are they? Read, write, add, delete. Editor, this one. So now what do you think is the role of Kenagan? He is administrator. He is an administrator. Who are editors in this list? They can only read and write. You can see Mr. Roberts and Anderson. Only these two are having these rights because their job role is what? Editors. And similarly, reader has only right to read. You can see who are the only two people. They have only right to read. Smith and Raleigh. Is that clear? So now you can see here, Smith is what? Reader. Raleigh is a reader because they have only right for what? Read. Kenagan is actually admin. So that's why he has all the 4 rights. Can you see here? All the 4 rights. McRoberts and Anderson are editors. They have the rights to read and write. I hope now you are clear about 2 things. Number 1, you are clear about multi-factor authentication. Number 2, you are clear about access control. Now we are going to talk about the next one, which is called encryption. The third topic or the third concept which I want to introduce to you is called encryption. So let us see what is encryption. See, we have a username and password. Okay, you gain access to a system by using username and password. You think it is secure, but when you are going to send the data into another person, because you are a user of you are a customer in a bank, you gain access to the system by using the username and password, and also sometimes you use multi-factor authentication like OTP or RSA secure ID token. Everything is done. So you think the data is secure, but the data which you are sending is actually, when you type your username and password, it is going through the internet to the server of the bank and it is authenticated, and then you are getting the access. But in the middle, in the communication channel means when the data is passing through the internet line or the telephone line to reach the server, a hacker can stop the packet of data, and if he try to read it, he can understand what is the username and password. So your system is hacked. That means he will know your username and he will know your password. When a hacker knows the username and password, what does it mean? The security of the data, of the information is lost. So that's why it becomes very important to have a technique called encryption. You can see here, many number of times transmit the information over the internet or transfer it like this. I told you just now. You enter your username and password from your computer. It is checked with the server of the bank which is located somewhere. So this username and password which you typed is going through the internet line to reach the server. If it is openly seen that your username and password, because the information is sent in form of packet, packet. If the hacker can stop the packet, stop the packet and read the packet, he will know the username and password. Once he knows the username and password, it is easy for him to hack your bank account. So this is very dangerous. So to avoid this problem only, encryption comes handy. It helps to overcome this problem. So what happens? It is possible for so I explained you. I told you up to this one in a very nutshell. So any unauthorized person can get access to the data. So the technique called encryption is needed. This is what I told you in a nutshell before. What is encryption now? It is a process of encoding. What is encoding? Changing it into a code that even if the hacker is going to stop the data packet, even if he tries to read, he will not understand what is the information, what are the information, what is the password, whatever it may be, he cannot understand because it has been coded. You know what is coded? It has been changed into another form that he cannot understand what is it. That is called encryption. Encryption is a process of encoding the data. Please note the point. It is very important. Encoding. What is encoding? I am adding something. I am changing my information into another form, like a secret code, and that is called encoding the data. Okay, so when the data is going on the internet line or when it is stored in my computer, it is not easy for somebody to open my file and read it. Even if they want to open the file, if they try to break the encryption, they cannot understand what is that one because there is a key by which I coded and it is locked. This it is not going to be done by you. There are many software programs for encoding. This encoding process is done by a computer program. There are encoding programs which are available in the market. So you are having a Word document. If you are having an encoding program, it will encode it will encode your file into a different format, and you send the file in internet. When the other person is going to receive the file, he will use your secret code which you will share with him. Then he can decode it. Okay, so which encodes the text and then it becomes cipher text. This coded information is called cipher text. Cipher text means what? It's a coded text. The text is normally in one form, but we are using cipher text. Cipher text means the information has been coded into a different form. Don't worry, when you see the next slide, you will understand very clearly. And when it reaches the receiver, it is decoded. Decoded means what? It is brought back to its original form. Decoding. There are two things in encryption. One is encoding, the other one is decoding. What is encoding? Encoding means you are trying to convert your information into a different format and lock it. And then it is sent in the internet. Once the receiver received it, he also uses one key to open it and decode. Decode means he will change the file to its original form. So during the transmission, the information is not understandable to any hacker. So that is the idea of having an encryption. Okay, so they have something called a method of encoding. They have a method of encoding which is going to be discussed shortly with you. Encoding, and then there is a keys. Now let us see this with the help of a diagram. You will understand. Look at this one. This is the sender and this is a receiver. So the sender is going to send this file. It is a plain text file, like a Word file or something like a text file. Okay, notepad file. Normally when you are entering the username and password, maybe it is going in the form of this type of next text file. So now what happens when you are sending the file? The process of encryption is going to start. Encoding. What is encoding? We have plain text plus we attach a key. That means when I make a key, automatically you see here the information here is completely changed. 4 years. Here it becomes different. Lauren Ipusham. So this is how the message will be sent in the communication channel. That means for F we are using some other letter L. For O we are using another letter like this. We have something like for every letter we put another letter, so that anybody who looks at it cannot understand, because every company has its own encoding and encryption technique. they will use their own technique, and it is not easy for everybody to guess, okay, this can be A, this can be B. No, they cannot guess, because every company has its own encryption rules and encoding techniques, so it is not easy to guess. So you see that when the sender is sending the data, he is sending the data and before that it gets encrypted, and encryption means the file becomes, the information comes to this format. It is called ciphertext format, and it is not easy for anybody to understand what is the information that is being sent, because it has been encoded. So once it is received by the recipient, it has to be decoded. You know what is decoded? Again, there is a key, plain text, plus a private key. The key is given a code like a password, so they will apply when the file is received. They cannot also open, they have to apply the key, and when they apply the key, it will ask for a key. Give me the key for opening this, decoding this file. So this will be shared maybe by telephone or by another way to this receiver. So the receiver will use that one, and then he can read the message. So the message is actually changed to another form during transmission to secure the data, and that is actually called encryption. It has two steps. One is encoding, the other one is decoding. Let's look at this example. What do you see here? If I see a word, if I see a number 11, it means what? It is alphabet A. If I see, this is my own encoding example. It is not necessary that everybody is going to use the same numbers. You can use any number. Maybe you can start with 25. A is 25. That's your own encoding pattern, which you can, any organization can adapt. That's why it is very, very difficult to find out. It's very difficult to find out what is the information that is being sent. Now you can see here, A is 11, B is 12, C is 13. So I have some coding technique which I adapted, encoding technique I adapted. Now you can see here, look at this number, 118. Where is 18? Where is 18? 18. Can you see 18 here? H. Okay. Let's put it here. 18. H. Then I have what? 25. Where is 25? Okay. Where is 25? O. Can you see here? H. O. Can you see now? Now you can type here, for example, H. O. Like for example, H. O. Like H. O. Now you have next one is what? 32. Where is 32? 32 is here. Can you see here? 32 is here. There is a mistake. See here. 32, 32, 32. It should be what? It should not be having two same codes. There is something wrong here. Okay. 32 only. Okay. The coding is, this encoding has a problem because there cannot be two with the same. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Okay. It is 33. It is 33. Actually, this is not 32. It is 33. This should be here. Okay. 33. The number is here 33. The number here is what? 33. 33 means what? This is not 32. This is what? 33 also. Can you see here? 33. Can you see it? It is 33. Is that clear? Because we have to see the sequence. How? H-O-W. Can you see here? H-O-W. So this letter means what? How. Now you look at this one. 11. Where is 11? A. Okay, 11 is here. Can you see here? 11. So this means what? A. 28. Where is 28? R. A-R-E. A-R. Okay. 15. Where is 15? E. C. So this is what? A. This is R. This is E. This is H. This is O. How? How R. Now go here. 35. Where is 35? Here. Y. 25 is what? O. 31 is what? 31 is where? U. So what is this message? So the message is sent like this. This is called what? Cipher text. The message is encoded and it goes in the internet like this. And when somebody is trying to intercept, he sees these numbers. He cannot understand anything from the number because it has been encoded. And also he cannot make a guess. 18 is H because this is my encoding pattern. Not necessarily all of the companies will have the same encoding pattern. So this is what? What is the answer of this one? The answer of this one is what? How are you? Now try this one using the same table. Try this one. 29, 30, 1135, 1130. Okay. Now give me the answer for this one. I give you time. Find out the answer and let me know in the next class also. With this, we finish our class for today. Today we have seen three important concepts. Number one, multi-factor authentication. Number two, we have seen about the access control. What is access control? How the access control is decided? What are the various types of assignments and how they are changed? And then we have seen about encryption techniques. This completes the class for today. Have a nice day and inshallah stay safe and get yourself ready for the quiz next week, and it will cover chapter 3 and chapter 4 up to the part 1. This part no need to study. Part 1 which I finished in the last class. See you then. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.